And welcome to another show, everybody. You remember the TV series Hell on Wheels? That was a great show. By gee, it was. Well, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about another very impressive Hell on Wheels. It's coming. What is it? Squawking Chicken Truck, right? To ruffle the feathers outside local restaurants. Mark, what are you talking about? Well, what on earth? Apparently, local diners right here, Tucson, Arizona, and a lot of other wonderful places across this great country, local diners just might think twice about chowing down on fried chicken after they see and hear Hell on Wheels. So what is it then? Well, PETA's new guerrilla marketing campaign, and it's a bonza, a beauty, featuring a life-size chicken transport truck covered with images of real chickens crammed into crates on their way to a slaughterhouse. What an exciting day for those poor devils, complete with actual recorded sounds of the birds' cries and a subliminal message every 10 seconds suggesting that people go vegan. All right, so you're walking along the street, you're minding your own business, or you're having dinner or lunch, and then boom, this thing turns out the front. I'm going to welcome Amber Canavan. She's from PETA. In fact, she's the manager of campaigns, comes up with these deals. A brilliant idea. I mean, what's behind this one, Amber?
Well, I mean, we have our traveling chicken truck, the Hell on Wheels campaign, traveling the entire country right now. We're trying to hit everyone with this campaign. It's been on the road for months, making people stop for a moment to think, to be confronted on the streets about the suffering that about 10 billion chickens go through every single year. Just for us to eat them in the United States. And, you know, you can see on the truck, highly recommend people visit our website, PETA.org, to see those photos if you can't see it in person. While we're in Arizona or Texas or elsewhere, we're right in that area right now, to look at that suffering. You can see it, these life-sized, almost 3D quality images of these chickens. Those are the conditions that they are forced to be in during the time that they're between the factory farm and the slaughterhouse. And we know nothing humane happens on a factory farm and nothing humane happens on a slaughterhouse.
Yeah, right.
And there's just as much suffering happening there on those trucks as well.
Unbelievable. And folks, now I can hear a couple saying, yeah. Well, listen, PETA, why are you doing? They're not real. They're not real Chookie Wookies, right? But they're wonderful 3D photographs, okay, that show you what it's like when they are taken, as Amber was saying, on the way to the slaughterhouse. They're very realistic. And by the time you add the sound to it and the cries and the poor things, I'm telling you, it's to get the point across. Now, you've come from the Northeast, through all the weather, through everything. You've come right across Texas, down Arizona. Today, in fact, is February 24th, because this podcast will be around forever. But you're actually doing Tucson City Hall today, Thursday, the 24th of Feb. And then you're moving on to confront diners at the Drunken Chicken, the Lucky Wishbone, ATL Wings, and the Buffalo Spot. Other eateries right through to Sunday. And this is part of the group's national tour. This is what you do everywhere when you go to these towns. Do you actually stop and have tables out or brochures, or do people come and talk to you? How does that work?
We do have a leaflet holder on the side of the truck that has a special leaflet just about the truck explaining what it is. And yeah, we've been out to food festivals, restaurant districts, city centers, to confront consumers, about the fact that there's billions of these feeling, intelligent chickens who are violently slaughtered for food every year, and that we can very simply put a stop to it by eating the vegan foods. And in every city that we visit, there's grocery store shelves stocked with Good Catch's vegan fishless fillets, Beyond Meat burgers, Gardein chicken tenders. Most fast food places even have a vegan burger, a vegan entree option now. There's so much out there to explore. and without having to chow down on the dead bodies of these little birds.
Yeah, they're like, from what I believe, Amber, they can be like little booty tats. I mean, these chickens can actually sit in your lap and you can pat them, you know. They're a lot more than what people think than these idiot things bobbing around on the ground, you know, eating off the ground sort of thing. Well, PETA's executive vice president, Tracy Riemann, she says PETA's Hell on Wheels truck, it's an appeal to anyone who eats chicken to remember that the meat industry is cruel to birds and that the kindest meal is a vegan one. Now, so your point really, Amber, is that behind every barbecued wing or bucket of fried chicken is a once living, sensitive individual who was crammed onto a truck for a terrifying, miserable journey to their death.
Right. I mean, we're just next time people are at the grocery store, you know, we want them to see those dead chicken parts on a piece of styrofoam under the plastic and think of that bird. And I say baby chick because they have manipulated these birds to grow so quickly, so fast that they're literally still peeping for their mothers, but often by the time they get sent to the slaughterhouse. But they're in these oversized bodies and they'll often literally collapse under their own weight because we raise them to be so large, so fast to be profitable. They're literally still babies when we send them to be killed. And people can spare the lives of nearly 200 animals a year just by not eating them.
Well, you know, more and more are going to vegan. It's not for everyone, though. They say they're supposed to have their protein, you know, with their white meat and red meat, and it's better for them than the red meat and so on. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I didn't like nice chicken myself, but I do love eggs more than anything, and I believe in free range of anything. But this, when you see this, folks, these 3D photos that were taken of how these poor devils are transported in real life, real time, to the slaughterhouses, I tell you what, it's hard. Now, PETA's motto, of course, it reads, you know, in part, that animals are not ours to eat, right? They're not ours to eat. They're meant to roam around and be free. So what are they there for? What sort of negativity do you get, Amber? How do you answer everyone?
People have been changing their views about animals. It's not changing quickly enough, ever, because when anyone is suffering, the change can never, ever come fast enough. But I will say we've seen so much progress in the past several years where you can be on the road and you can be in almost any city and find a way to eat delicious food that didn't come from a suffering animal. And we're seeing people overall, you know, realizing that chickens are individuals. And that's also a new concept. And we're looking just so much forward to to people really taking that to heart. And they literally cannot look away with this truck. Well, we're going nationwide with this thing.
Okay, so where do you go then from Arizona, right?
So we started in the Northeast. So we were just in Texas, and now we're kind of heading up more north.
Okay, going up into the colder climates. You're not going west to LA?
We will eventually. We're making our way.
That'll be interesting, I tell you. All right. So there you got it, folks. PETA's new guerrilla marketing campaign. Brainchild of the team and the manager of campaigns in Amber Canavan. And I tell you what, Canavan, I beg your pardon, Amber Canavan. She's the manager of campaigns. Hell on Wheels, it's called. It's coming to a city near you. But it's not funny. You look out for it, right? Squawking Chicken Truck to ruffle feathers outside local restaurants. And people, you know, it's a difficult one again. Because, you know, well, hey, we've had the COVID. We've been broke. We're trying to come back. I don't know. It's an ongoing. But think of the birds, all right? Think of the birds. What on earth? What a story. You know, thank you for your time given. I mean, you've been very busy, Amber. We appreciate this. And good luck with the campaign.
Thank you so much.
All right. And don't forget, folks, look at the photographs. You can go to Mark Bishop Media, M-A-R-K, markbishopmedia.com, and go to shows and have a look at the Mark Bishop show, and you're going to see a nice headshot there of Amber and her bio, and more importantly, the photographs of what we're talking about, the story was about. It's amazing. If it doesn't do something to you, I'll be very surprised. I'll be back with another show soon.